Hey Astro Babes, I'm Ashley of More Than Your Sun Astrology, and welcome to As Above, So Below for the week of June 24th through June 30th. In this video, I'll bring light to what the planets are doing up above and how those themes may show up for you in your life. As above, so below. At the end, I'll pull just one card for additional guidance and clarity. Before we start, please take a moment to subscribe so that you can be notified when I post and be prepared of what to expect for the week ahead. Can we just take 2 seconds right now to just chill out? It's been a long ass couple of weeks. All right. It's been a long couple of weeks. There's been a lot happening astrologically that I'm sure has shown up in your life as stressed, tired, confused. Hopefully some people have had some type of breakthroughs or new revelations. I know I have. I've gotten a lot more clear on many situations that had been more foggy. So essentially the fog has lifted in a lot of different areas for me. But that may or may not be the case for you, because even though we all experience the same energy, it can express in different ways based on your individual chart. If you're needing some time to kind of catch up, this is the week to do it. There's not that much happening astrologically speaking, so you get a little bit of a break, dare I say, thank the heavens. Now, a break doesn't mean that we're not being asked to continue to deal with and wrap up, so to speak, things that came up in the past couple of weeks or even just things that have come up in the past. But it does mean that you may not have new situations arise. You now have some time to clean up, if that makes sense. Also, the moon is a planet that's pretty much always moving. And yes, before you come for me, in astrology, we do consider the moon a planet. In your chart, the moon can speak to your emotions, and since the moon is always moving, always talking to other planets, you could find that you're more attuned to your emotions, or that you're experiencing a lot of different types of emotions this week because it's the only consistent thing happening this week. By the way, and speaking of the moon, if you'd like to learn more about your moon sign, or more specifically, if you have a child in your life and you'd like to learn more about their moon sign, you can go to my website, mtysastrology.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and as a gift, I'll send you a free copy of my ebook, How to Parent Children by Their Moon Sign. Jumping into this week, there are 2 things happening that I want you to be mindful of. The first is on Wednesday, the 26th, up above, Mercury will have an easy flowing conversation with Saturn, which in our life can be really great for conversations. Mercury in our charts is about how we communicate with other people and how we listen. Saturn in our charts is about doing work and strategically focusing to achieve a goal. So Mercury trine Saturn can influence us with the ability to be quiet and listen so we can actually hear what someone else is saying. We have the patience to wait until someone else is finished before we jump in with our point or trying to out-talk them. It can also be really great for studying. Too bad school's out for most people. But if you have to look over a contract or something like that, this week you'll have an eye for the details. Putting your mind towards a goal can be beneficial and bring rewards. What you give your attention to will reap rewards. The second highlight of the week I want to mention comes on Friday the 28th, when up above, Mercury makes a not so fun aspect to Chiron. Mercury in our charts represents our communication. How do you engage and conversate with others? Chiron in our chart speaks to somewhere we've been wounded, physically or mentally. It can bring up some subjects we'd rather not talk about. When those subjects are dug up from the depths of the parts in ourselves that we try to keep hidden, and they're brought to your conscious awareness, how are you going to confront it? Well, Mercury is currently in a water sign, Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign. So chances are you're going to want to keep it hidden underwater, if that makes sense. We tend to not want to verbally communicate when Mercury's in water. Mercury is about talking, as that's how the majority of us communicate. So if Mercury is in water, you can think about how it's difficult to talk underwater. It's more natural to keep your thoughts to yourself or get caught up in a mental loop as you think, relive old situations, and play out new scenarios in your head, secretly suffering in silence. Cancer is also a sign that can sometimes be stuck in the past and not know how to move on. So this scenario or issue that comes up for you is likely to be something you've previously dealt with that is now resurfacing. Something else that could come up with Mercury squaring Chiron could be an emotional outburst of words. Chiron can heal or hurt, so words can be used as a weapon or an antidote. You have the ability to make that choice for yourself. This week, I want you to keep that in mind. And if you come across a situation that reopens old wounds, I want you to challenge yourself to speak on it. Find a way to get it out of your mind and then out of your body. Yes, it's a challenge. Yes, it's easier said than done. But once you're able to expose it and confront it, you're going to be able to begin the healing process. And that's the real beauty of Chiron, healing wounds. All right, let's pull a card. I will be using the Modern Witch Tarot, a wonderful beginner-friendly deck that gives a great visual of the original card meaning. And as always, I like to read the message from the Big Bitty book because I feel that it gives a more clear description of the intended message. Both the Modern Witch Tarot and the Big Bitty book can be purchased on my Amazon storefront, and I've got links in the description down below. What do we need to know this week for our highest good? I pulled the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about releasing old baggage. Let's see what Bitty says. The Six of Swords shows that you're in a state of transition, leaving behind what was familiar and moving towards the unknown. You might be leaving a relationship, changing jobs, going through a rite of passage, or a mental shift. The change may be on your own or being forced upon you, and you may feel sad to leave behind what's familiar to you. However, this move is essential for your growth. You'll become a better person as a result. The Six of Swords invites you to let go of whatever's holding you back, be it from your past or your present circumstances. You'll need to make tough decisions and compromises along the way. See it as a rite of passage, as long as you're willing to evolve and shed whatever it is that you don't need. Similarly, the Six of Swords asks you to reflect on any emotional or mental baggage you may carry as you move from one phase to the next. The Six Swords in this boat represent that you're still carrying baggage or weight with you as you move forward onto the next part of your journey. And the swords don't have to be physical, obviously. They can be memories, relationship baggage, bad habits or behaviors, thought patterns, personal beliefs that no longer serve you. Decide what you need to take with you and what you need to leave behind. Okay, perfect card. Six of Swords. We just talked about this with Mercury squaring Chiron. Mercury is our thoughts, our memories, the mental shit that goes on in our heads. And Chiron is about wounds, baggage, trauma. So this week it's going to be about how you learn to let go of mental shit. Things that came up in your past, things you thought you left behind, moved away from, forgot about maybe even. But we never really forget, right? We still have these old TV sets that play in the back of our minds. And sometimes we hear the noise and we're like, shut up, be quiet. Well, this week, you can't tell it to shut up and be quiet. You have to turn up the volume, listen to what's being said, listen to what's being brought up. You do not want to continue through your journey in this lifetime carrying all those burdens, all the baggage. At some point, you're going to have to put on your big girl panties or big boy panties and address it. Address what needs to be addressed. If there's someone that you need to talk to about something that has happened in the past that you're fearful is going to come up again, or maybe it's coming up again at this point in time, that needs to be talked about, that needs to be discussed, that needs to be dealt with. Maybe it's something personal within yourself. It could just be something as simple as like, you're a procrastinator. And you know, and you've known, you're starting to realize that you put things off. And if you want to make a consistent effort toward accomplishing a goal, you're gonna have to stop procrastinating, you're gonna have to stop putting things on the back burner, and you're gonna have to get shit done. So you're gonna have that conversation with yourself of how you can let go of these bad habits to wait until the last second, or ultimately not do it at all, because you're going to do it tomorrow or the next day or the next day or whatever, right? Everybody has their own stuff that they have to deal with, including me. Stuff's already coming up for me this week. So give yourself some grace. Give other people around you grace. You never know what people are dealing with. You never know what demons are rearing their ugly heads in someone's life. Talk to someone you trust. Write things down to get your head clear. Challenge yourself to confront. Challenge yourself to go to that uncomfortable place that's way outside of your bubble of comfort. Access it so that you can face it and finally put it behind you and move forward once and for all. I hope this breakdown of what to expect this week was helpful and insightful. Please don't leave without subscribing to my channel so that you continue to be a step ahead and know what to expect. If you need personal guidance and want me to look at your individual chart, you can go to my website, mtysastrology.com, and book a personal reading. While you're there, subscribe to my newsletter so I can send you a copy of my free ebook, How to Parent Children by Their Moon Sign, because we know, as above, so below. See you next week.